Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Home Rockstar Podcast. I'm super excited for today's episode. We are talking to Clay Green again. I met him 10 years ago. We're figuring this out just now. So this is really cool. He is the Chief Enthusiasm Officer at Conscious Flow Control. And what he does is he helps people to master the skill of controlling the contents of their consciousness so they can master conscious flow control and more than double their efficiency, output, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So super excited to be rocking out today with Clay Green. Hey, Clay, you ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock. I love it.
Love it. Well, we always start off on a good note. Tell me a story of success that we can be inspired by.
A story of success. Like you said, Tim, we just kind of realized that we met about a decade ago, and I'm celebrating big time. I realized it about 2 or 3 months ago that I've been doing what I've been doing now 12 plus years, over a decade.
Wow.
And previously in my careers, I was in a job for about 6 years. So I've been celebrating the ever living devil out of that. It's mind blowing to me that, I mean, your podcast, we did that a decade ago, and I was already working from home. I wasn't, there's a whole story about that, where I'm living and all that stuff, but traveling or whatever. And so I'm just celebrating that. I'm really, really, really thrilled and happy about this lifestyle and how it's changed how I feel on a daily basis. It's just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a great story. I mean, to be able to do something, that you're passionate about for over a decade, I mean, that's a big deal, right? I mean, people.
I didn't realize it. Like, that's the part.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't even realize it until I really started thinking about it. That's the part. Yes.
Yeah, time flies. And I feel the same way because it's been over a decade for me as well. And my previous record would have been 8 years with a company. And
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing about it, that is that was 8 years. I knew it was 8 years, right? However, now with this over a decade, I'm just like every once in a while, I'm just like, wow, I've been just good. This has been going on and on and on. Like, this is amazing, right? Yeah.
It's been flowing.
Now, I mean, I can't say that it was all sunshine and rainbows, though. There was some things that didn't go super well over the last, decade or so. And I'm wondering for you, can you share with me one of the bad notes that you hit over the years?
Well, I mean, it's been a decade, and we kind of joked about it when we first got on here. Is a lot has happened. COVID.
Oh yeah.
And regardless of which side you fall on, the political situation in America, it's just been, the last decade has been quite turbulent and newsworthy. Let's just now that we touch that, let's step back from that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then, I guess I went from being in this amazing, wonderful relationship, and it's funny, it's like timing, man. I was in a wonderful relationship when we met, and I was traveling around the country in my RV. And fast forward, that relationship is over. Thanks COVID, thanks all the stuff. But I mean, it was appropriate, but it was a tough breakup. It was hard, but I still kept serving my clients. I still kept generating revenue. I still was able to keep the cash flow going. Cash flow, learning about that, because I've spent, like we were talking about jobs, most of my adult life, I've been in a job, in a business, or not a business, I'm sorry, a job, a career. Yes, successful. Yes, wonderful. But it's a whole different mindset when you start managing your cash flow, that as a business owner. And I guess a decade ago, when it was like, I was like 2 to 4 years into trying to figure all that out. That's a whole mind thing. So then, moved out of the RV. I've kind of returned to what I'm considering home right now, and I'm enjoying life. So several challenges, if you want to tear into any of them, all of them telling me the importance of that, controlling the contents of your consciousness.
Yeah.
Statement that you made, that is so important.
I mean, on that note, I remember, years before, lockdowns and all that other stuff that that I remember, I think I was listening to Jim Rohn talking about this kind of thing, and he's like, it doesn't matter who's in power and who's, whether it's this or that, and really, there are people that are having success regardless of that, right? And a lot of that has to do with just not really worrying too much about any of that stuff. However, I will say that um, there was an impact on me only once, depending on who was in office, and it was those lockdowns. I mean that was one of those things that I mean it really did change a lot of things. However, as probably most of us realize, I mean there's are always going to be something there is often something external to your business that can happen, and maybe it's not political, maybe it just is what it is,
Oh,
and now it's
yeah.
probably AI, right? That's happening out there. And it forces you to make a pivot and to make some changes into what you do. And I did, and it ended up working out really, really well for me. Um, but I think what happens a lot of times is people get stuck with maybe this is what I do, and I can't think of doing anything else. And you hang on too long. Do you think that might happen?
So I like how like you're connecting the lockdowns to political, and it's like that was we could segregate that out, and but the lockdown, it was a very, in my mind, that lockdown, it and the isolation and the work from home and
Yeah,
all that, it freed a lot of people.
it did.
It shifted a lot of perspectives. So I'm with you. I have a phrase that I say and that I lean on a lot. Everything always works out perfectly for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're right. I think that the biggest silver lining that came from those lockdowns is I remember I probably told this to you 10 years ago on the podcast. At some point, most people are going to be working from home, right? And having their own business. Now, I did not see that coming, right? But but I
It was
mean,
your fault. Is that what you're trying to take ownership?
well, because what it did is it proved a concept to a lot of these big companies that they were just resisting. I know when I was in high tech, I did work for a company that allowed us to work from home, and in that aspect, I think it was because they realized they could get more out of us. Nerds that were sitting around. I was a
Yeah.
programmer, right? So they get more out of us, coding at 2 a.m. and giving us access to that infrastructure, right? But
Instead
I
of
do know that most companies they frowned upon that stuff. Like you were working from home, they figured that you were just slacking off all day, and
yep,
they realized real quick that yeah, there are some people that are not meant to work from home. They need that,
need the
right?
structure. Yep.
Right. But there's also a huge number of people that are far more productive working from home. And I think that really did open that up. And so, in the short term, I think maybe it might uh, allow a lot of companies to start utilizing that. But also, I think it can help a lot of us self-employed people because it now has opened up, improved some tools. Zoom is much better now. Lots of other teleconferencing tools that have come out. Like it has improved a lot of things, right?
So much, so much. And the I love that phrase, man. The contents of your consciousness.
Hmm.
Master the skill of controlling the contents of your consciousness. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because it I'm very aware of, because of what I do, of how many people struggled with like, there's this, here's normal, and now there's this change.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's such a struggle to
Yeah.
adjust for so many people. And that's the gift. If you can learn how to do that, if you can learn how to adjust and adapt, my buddy Clint Eastwood in that one movie from the 80s, I think it was, that's the trick. And
Yeah.
I think that the last decade, I'll just say it that way, has helped people. It's segregating people into I need to hold on to these systems, because I have clients right now that are struggling to transition into freedom,
Yeah.
into no job, but they're still kind of holding on to their mindset with the structure.
Yeah.
So it's segregating those people. really clearly in my mind.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
so many people now with doing, like, I ask everybody, what are you selling on the side? What's your side hustle? Like the baristas, everybody, anywhere I'm at, like if I've got a minute and I'm wasting time or whatever in a line, that's the question. And so many people will be immediately say, oh, I sell paintings. I resell collectible pins, whatever, so whatever it is. So
Yeah.
it's been great. I think it's been great.
Good. So let's talk a little bit about, these practices and these ways to, I don't know, control your consciousness. Because, I
Yeah.
mean, without
It's
getting
important.
into the politics themselves, the issues that are going on right now are very, very polarizing, and people are really wrapped up. And I'm just wondering, like, I mean, obviously, if you're upset about whatever's going on out there, that's got to impact your business. So how do you not let that impact you?
I the first thing is awareness.
Hmm.
The first step in anything is awareness. And I think more and more people are realizing today, and it's just happening from my perspective, and I could be distorted. I see more people going, wait a second, huh? And they're
Yeah,
becoming aware
yeah,
of those triggers. They're
yeah.
becoming aware how, let's just say, BMW or Mercedes or Volkswagen or Ralph Lauren Polo marketing triggers people,
Hmm.
and how trained we are to exist triggered.
Yeah,
So that awareness is in my mind the first step. It's why, and I have a little 3-step process that I share with people, and I think we're all doing this. And it's going to be kind of weird the way I'm going to present this, but regardless of, and I've talked to a lot of people over the decades
hmm,
now, and regardless of religion or non-religion or politics or anything else, I ask this question: why are you here?
yeah,
And I ask them to zoom out to the point where it's like, I'm talking about this lifetime. I'm not talking about you building your podcast, you're building your business, you coding, me teaching flow. No, I'm talking about, as a human, why are we here? And the theory comes down to, we're either here to learn and grow or have fun
yeah,
and experience. And so it's very simple. If you just start there, it's like, okay, well, if I'm here to either experience this or have fun, or I'm here to learn and grow and get into heaven, or, whatever that growth reason is in your religion or your philosophy, it's all good. I don't want to change any of those things. But the point is, learn and grow or experience and have fun. How are you doing it with this body? So my first step, the first most important, I tell people now, it's the most valuable thing that's ever going to come out of my mouth. Grow your awareness of your body. Grow your awareness of your body. I have my clients write it down in their journal. Grow my awareness of my body. And if you just focus on that every day, you're like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to go take a shower. I'm going to get in the car and go to the grocery store. Why am I doing that? One of the reasons, deep down, is to grow my awareness of my body. I want to feel the difference in temperature. So you turn that awareness up. That would be the first most important thing. The third thing, the third step in this process is, why are you growing your awareness of your body? It's because you may not like going to that grocery store. You may not like your shower head. So the third step is, what do you want? What do I want? That's the way I say it. What do I want? Right? So I want a new shower head. So I'm going to go to the store, but I don't like that store. So I'm going to go to this other store. So I skipped number 2 on purpose because I kind of alluded to number 2. And I'm curious, Tim, like, do you see this? Do you like everything we were talking about at the last 10 years and everything that's going on? Most people make most decisions like I just described. I don't like the shower head. I don't like my car. I don't like my partner or my girlfriend or my boyfriend. I don't like it when my kids get bad grades. What do I want? I want their grades to improve. I want it different. I want something different,
Hmm.
right? They start from a place of lack and fear
Hmm.
unconsciously. So my second step is let's get rid of the lack and fear. Let's, number two, so number one was grow my awareness of my body. Number two is chase, attain, and maintain gratitude. Then and only then, in my opinion, is it beneficial for you to ask, what do I want? Because when you're in a state of gratitude, you're empowered. You're in a place where it's abundant. There is love. You're feeling good. So what do you want? I want the shower head to be harder, right? Instead of I don't
Hmm.
like that. What do you want? I want the shower head to give me more pressure, and I want it to be able to go to this one massage setting. Because otherwise, you're going to go to the store and you're going to see a whole bunch of different shower heads, and you're not going to. The odds are you're not going to find the one you want unless you're looking for what you want.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. 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 And I mean, sometimes you might have a salesman that'll ask you those questions and you end up getting getting what you want. But
Sometimes.
but on the other hand, yeah, you might just replace it with something that you also don't want.
The key thing I'm saying is the default for most people that I meet and I see in the world is, I don't like that. I don't want that. I'm going to go over here
Yeah.
instead of what do I want? Oh, I want that, and to
Yeah.
go with it. Yeah.
Well, I think the way that I see that is sort of acting reacting to things versus acting intentionally, right? Like when you're reacting to something that you don't like, then you're not necessarily going towards what you do like. You're just running away from what you don't like. And depends on which direction you happen to be running. Whereas if you instead figure out exactly what you want, then you can run in that direction for sure.
100%. I love that word reacting. I don't know if I said it in our first interview a decade ago or not. I said it was 9.5 years, whatever it's been.
Hmm.
Um, but I used to say this a lot, and it's I help people learn to think, not react.
Yeah.
And there's a very clear delineation there because those three steps that I just shared with you, except for the chase, attain, maintain, we're doing it
Yeah.
every day. Everybody's doing it. Why did you get up and go to work today? Why did you, if you're listening to this right now, why did you click on this podcast? Was it because you wanted something or because you're trying to get away and change your life from something else?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're doing those three steps, and you just cracked into the 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 piece that matters is you've got to be aware of your body. Am I We are aware of our bodies, but if something hurts a little bit, we're not going to change much. It usually takes a pretty big impetus. Like you got fired, you got laid off, you got your girlfriend broke up with you, so you're gonna change how you're acting. You know what I'm saying? There's these big things that prompt us usually.
Yeah.
My pitch is grow your awareness and listen to the little things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Increase your increase your sensitivity so that as soon as you see that commercial, as soon as your partner says it this way, you're aware there's something a little off and you're able to figure out what it is. You're
Yeah.
able to satiate your reactivity and
Yeah.
then solve the problems.
Well, and the way it's worked in my life anyway is that I think that these cues that our body gives us, like the pain here, the pain there, or the uncomfortableness here, the uncomfortableness there, those are all sort of cues. And I think that they're attached to what we think, but whatever. Either way, if something happens that's like a little annoyance and you don't handle it, well, isn't it just going to grow? So I think everything works kind of the same way is that, like you say, we only change when something really big happens. Well, that's because you ignored all the signs that led to that point, right? I mean, there was,
100.
even when you think about something that's not like a pain in your body, like getting fired or something like that, I guarantee you that didn't happen overnight. there there was something that led up to that, and you just ignored all those signs and eventually got blindsided by that, right?
Like the great prophet said, signs, signs, everywhere there's signs.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too.
yes, 100%. I don't know if I asked you this when we first met. Now I kind of want to go back and listen to that first podcast.
Mm.
One of my favorite questions that I always ask people when I first meet them, if they're thinking about working with me or whatever, is I ask, because this connects to what you just said about your thoughts. I ask, what did your mom and dad do for money when you were 1 year old? So you can think about that. I'm not actually asking you right now, but if
Mm.
you think about that, here's why I asked that question. I asked that question because it tells me a lot about your unconscious mind.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The first 18 months, your brain grows more than the rest of your life. More gray matter is created. And in the creation of that gray matter is when the way your parents and the caretakers and the people you spent time around as an infant and what you were going through then is what's programmed in. And so you said your thoughts create a lot, or if not all of those ouchies or those prompts. I
Yeah.
agree 100%. And it's the majority are unconscious thoughts,
Yeah.
things that you're not aware of. And yeah, I help. So the first step I help people do is master the skill, like you said, of controlling the contents of your consciousness,
Yeah.
because your unconsciousness is trying to control that all the time.
Yeah.
So you got to master that skill, and then we can get into the productivity stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And I think to that point, I once learned that you can't focus on two things at the same time. So it really what matters is that you're not necessarily trying to think like don't think of the purple elephant. It's think about the thing that you want, and then you're not thinking about the purple elephant, right? And I think that that's that's kind of goes back to the same thing that you just said a second ago with go towards what you want rather than away from what you don't.
I have nothing to add.
Mm.
No comment other than hell yeah.
Yeah.
That was a hell yeah.
So
Oh,
so
I
tell
love
me
it.
about your learning journey. Like do you hire coaches? Like do you have mentors, masterminds, any of those things?
Um, yes, yes,
To all
yes.
those, yeah.
Uh, yes. Oh, my learning journey. Whew. I'm sorry for the pause there. I'm just
Hmm.
taking a moment of feeling grateful. There's there I it is shocking. It is shocking when I stop and try to think about everything I've learned. Um, and the way that I feel that is, one, I'll bring on a new client. I recently onboarded a client that is he's a data scientist, like a master's or PhD. He's like a director of data science for this company, and he's doing. I don't want to get too personal here, but he wants to develop a side hustle. And so I realize the delta between my understanding now of marketing, cash flow, managing my days so that I can run a business. See,
Hmm.
all these things, these are little tidbits I'm dropping here. There's so many things. Um, there's so many things that he needs to learn over time. And it becomes a challenge, like which one's the first? And I always go back to, you gotta master the contents of learn the skill of mastering your contents, your consciousness.
Yeah.
Um, and every mentor that I bump into, every book I read, every every mastermind that I'm a part of, it's the same. Yes, there's a skill of marketing, and that's changing like crazy with AI, ads, the
Mm.
cost, the way you get clients, how, and your business, and all the different options and ways you can get clients for your business. There's so many.
Yeah.
But I don't. Did I answer your question? Yes. My learning journey has been massive.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know how to start to tell it. Um,
Well,
did I?
how do you find how do you go about finding a mentor? Like if you're looking for some help, what would you do?
I said it earlier, everything always works out perfectly for me.
So it just comes into your life. Yeah.
I find that
Yeah.
now, and this is that hard part. So someone that's just starting on this journey is not practiced in trusting their intuition,
Yeah.
practiced in listening to that still small voice. And so they're seeking and they're
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I would say. And I did this. I going back to the beginning of my learning journey. It was all about the person I resonated with.
Yeah.
I heard, I don't know if you'll remember this name or not, but I heard Dane Maxwell on a podcast on the Smart Passive Income with Pat Flynn.
Hmm.
It was like episode 14 or 34 or something like that.
Yep.
And I heard his interview and I just felt that man's heart. And it resonated with me. And so I looked him up and I checked out his class and I joined his class. 6 months later, a little bit in that 6 months, my life changed dramatically.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
And somewhere in that 6 months or shortly thereafter, I met someone who was just completely the opposite almost of this big-hearted, open, vulnerable Dane, and he was Brendan Bouchard.
Yeah.
And Brendan Bouchard, at the time when I met him many years ago, he was a very structured person. And so what am I explaining? I am explaining that my heart, I recognize now I resonated with Dane's heart. But logically, I quickly understood that it was my technical background, my engineering and nuclear science, all that stuff background that made me resonate with Brendan and the way he delivered this information.
Right.
And here's what I'm going to say it one more time to answer that question. There's not really a whole lot of new information out there. You can learn how to use AI, and that's new and a little different.
Yeah.
But in regards to the things that a new person needs right now, it's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of new information. I've got some, I think, a way of doing some stuff. But again, it's not new. I've been doing it for a decade.
Yeah.
So go with your gut. Go with your gut. Make sure they got a money back guarantee and hire somebody to help you. Follow a leader that you resonate with, because you're not going to make a mistake because everything always works out perfectly for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think that I think that you're right. I mean, there's the information out there. Maybe you might need to hear it a different way in order for it to like connect with you. Because I mean, you might hear it many times from many different people, but it's almost all the same thing. Now, there are some certain tactics, like you say, there are some new technologies that you can learn and all that stuff. But when it comes down to it, I think in my life anyway, the most valuable coaches that I've had have been more the accountability type stuff. It's holding yourself accountable for doing the things that you say that you're going to do, because that's real. I mean, we all know how to go out there and be more successful. I don't. Everybody knows what to do. They're just not doing it, right?
You know what, Tim? I love you went there. We haven't talked about this. But I'm just going to share it. 100% agree. And I realized early on that there were two things that got me moving.
Mm-hmm.
One, we can label accountability. Not my favorite word because, frankly, I don't enjoy hey, Tim, did you do 10 today?
Yep.
I don't like that kind of burden in my life.
No.
But the other one, I'm going to say, was engagement from that mentor, engagement from that system that I'm learning from. And so I literally built an app called Your Engagement and Accountability Helper. Yeah, the app for coaches. And I'm using it. I'm using it today with my clients. And it's like it's an automated engagement and accountability thing. But my clients, the clients don't download an app. It's just text messages. And so I have a daily check-in, sometimes a couple times a day, with some of my clients, where I'm asking, hey, did you meditate? today? Did you accomplish this journaling prompt today? Whatever it is. And if they didn't, then I get a notification and I can reach out to them if I need to,
Hmm.
because that is that engagement, that connection. I this if there was two things that drastically changed my life. And if you haven't heard, I'm sure I talked about it back in the day. I hit a deer going 85 miles an hour on my motorcycle, and I did not crash. That moment drastically changed my understanding of my brain and my body, and it changed everything. Not from a motivation standpoint, because, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. The other one was a multimillionaire convinced me that let me take it off, that using these beads 5 times a day would change things. And he made me promise to do it for 7 days. 4 days in, everything shifted. So it was that engagement and that accountability from that mentor that drove that I look at that as this, oh, I understand now, full circle, how to start managing and controlling the contents of my consciousness.
Yeah. Wow.
Meditation.
Well, you know what? Let's get into your guest solo. So tell me what's exciting in your business right now.
Okay, so I've built this app, and I'm in the early stages of releasing it and letting early adopters come on and test it. So we're in the process of that. Ironically, 2012, so 14 plus years ago, the class I joined was a SaaS class, software as a service.
Yeah.
And it's taken me this long, and now I've got customers and I'm producing an app. So I'm excited about that. But more importantly, I'm excited about how for the last decade, I've basically been honing and teaching the same thing, which is the enabling and empowering process. And I've got it right here. These are my words: enable, empower, and enthuse. And the enabling part is controlling the contents of your consciousness. The empowering part is high performance habits and conscious flow control. But the exciting thing is the realization that I've been doing this 10, 12 plus years now, and what I'm doing with the new clients because of the way that I asked that question. What would I do differently after I've worked with someone for 2 or 3 years and they're doing great, but what would I do differently? And I go back now and I really, 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 really focus on the enabling part, learning to actually do, and it's different for everybody, just so we're on the same page. I'm not someone that says you have to meditate this way or you have to journal that way. It's completely unique. You got to figure out your method. Yeah. And that's what I help people do. And it just excites the crap out of me, man. Like, that's seeing someone realize the power in their hands after they journal for a week, after they've meditated for a week, and they come on a call and they're like, oh my God, everything's different. I met this girl. I met this guy. I got 5 clients. Yeah. These gifts that happen almost instantly once someone understands the mind-body connection and how to manage this thing.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm so excited. And it's happening so quick. I love it.
So how do we find out more?
The safest way, consciousflowcommunity.com. consciousflowcommunity.com. My email address is clay@enthusiasticclay.com, which is not the same URL, but you can find it through there.
Okay.
That's
awesome.
The path.
Yeah. So before we go, let's talk a little bit about music here. Tell me, who is your favorite rock star?
My favorite rock star.
No.
It's too varied.
That's a hard question.
I'm bouncing Meatloaf. I'm bouncing, believe it or not, this, and I gotta say this, I was going through a divorce back in like 98, 99, 2000. And there was an artist that came out with an album, and it really meant a lot to me. Some of his very confident words. And today he's not one of those favorite people. I'll put it that way. But so it's this weird answer. I want to tell you him. And then there's Tesla with Signs, man.
Yeah.
Song And then AC/DC, ZZ Top, Rockstar, Run DMC with Aerosmith changed my life in the 80s, man. I'm an 80s
Nice.
kid. Uh, Prince,
Yeah.
Prince, still, in my opinion, the greatest halftime show ever.
Yeah.
In the Purple Rain, that man made it rain for him. That was insane.
I'm surprised he didn't get electrocuted.
He rocked that show. Oh man, so many rock stars. I feel out of touch with modern music. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. 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 They don't make it like they used to. Although, you know what? There's some good stuff out there now too. It's coming.
I agree. It's great
It's coming.
stuff.
Right
Who
on. Well,
would how
oh,
would you wait, Tim? How would you answer that question? Who's your favorite rock star? I mean, how I know there's so many.
there is a
There's so
lot.
many.
The one
Oh my
that's make
gosh.
the band that's made the most impact on me is the Beatles. So,
Neil.
I mean, and that's just because it's been when I was learning music, the guys that were, I was hanging around with at the time were big Beatles fans, and I got into the Beatles music, and it's a great way to learn music because they were just so creative and they broke so many grounds and they wrote like, I mean, if you just learn the Beatles catalog, you'll get everything. Like you'll learn
Interesting.
blues, you'll learn rock, you'll learn you'll learn everything. They even went into some of the Indian type music. It's
Yep.
crazy all the stuff that you can learn through the Beatles, and that's the reason why I choose them.
I love that. I got to drop Billy Joel real quick.
Oh yeah,
One of the greats. Yeah.
yeah.
Neil, can't leave out Neil Diamond. You ever see the movie Dating Silverman?
I have seen that movie. Yeah, yeah.
Neil Diamond's in there. That's why
That's
it was a
awesome.
yeah.
Well,
But
thank
yeah,
you for rocking out with me today, Clay. This has been a lot of fun.
Tim, you're the greatest, man. I
Uh,
am so glad we touched base again.
yeah, me too. Me too. This is a great episode. Make sure to the listeners, make sure you go to workathomerockstar.com for more information, and we'll see you next time on the Work at Home Rockstar podcast.